Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live. Now, I'm your host, Jeff Marconette Jr., the award-winning international Make Every Second Count speaker, and I'm here every Tuesday night trying to help you guys get through what you're going through so you can make it to the other side and live an amazing and a life full of happiness and joy, and just say thank you so much. I'm privileged to be here, but that's how I want you guys to live every day. So sorry guys, I've kind of had quite the week. I've had COVID-19 and I am getting better, but I still have a cough. So if I cough on the air, I'm sorry, but you can't catch it over the internet. I promise you that. So, through my experience, through my car wreck, and in the hospital 3.5 months, and in in a coma 2.5 of those 3.5 months, I learned all kinds of things that I am able to teach other people. And through my speaking, I can teach those tools, tips, tricks, and hacks to other people and help them live a better life. So, I have this show every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we like to have more of a conversation instead of a presentation on this show. So I always have a guest, and I would like you to ask as many questions as you would like, and I will get them answered for you. And if I don't get them answered on the air, I will make sure they're answered afterward. So, with no further ado, I would like to bring up tonight's guest, Maria.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
Hi, Maria. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with me
Oh, thank you
and
for having me.
my guests, and I found it really awesome that you're here with me.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, you are quite welcome, and I know you have one heck of a story, so I would like you to go ahead and tell everybody where you're from, what you do, why you do what you do, and most importantly, who you are.
Well, my name is Maria Papalia-Meier. I'm originally from upstate New York. My husband and I have been married for 18 years. We met in Georgia. We moved up here to the Northeast, to the Massachusetts area. I think it's been 10 or 11 years ago. I have two children. I have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old that keep us on our toes. And I have a great life, but life for me has definitely changed. Right before, or actually right after my 40th birthday, I went into septic shock from a strep infection I didn't know that I had. And that day changed the rest of my life. I was between the hospital and rehab, gone for a total of 7 weeks. 2 of those weeks were spent in a medically induced coma where I didn't really know what was going on. So I currently work part-time for a company that I've been with for over 20 years, but my main goal and mission in life is to get the word out about sepsis awareness, and also to let people see that you can achieve any goals that you want to achieve as long as you just have to find the inner strength within you and set the goals, and you can accomplish anything. I'm a runner. I was a runner before I got sick. And, some of the meds they gave me when I was in the hospital took away blood flow to my extremities. When my organs failed, they needed to keep all the blood flow to my vital organs to help keep them functioning. So unfortunately, I ended up losing my toes. And after the loss of my toes, I was told I would never run again. but I'm happy to say that that is not the case. I've run multiple 5Ks. Go ahead.
No,
Oh,
that's awesome. I was
thank you.
just cheering you on because I know that people are told all the time, and by doctors, by people that are in the know, that they're not going to be able to do something and things aren't going to be possible for them. And possibly because these people tried it, then you're definitely not going to be able to do it. But I want to tell you something, and I want to tell everybody out there something. And when people give you that permission to quit, there's one good thing about that. See, you don't have to take that permission. You don't have to do what anybody else says unless you allow them to say it and you believe them. If you know better, then get up and do it. Get up and run a race when you know you can run, even if you don't have toes, because she was told it wouldn't be possible. And look,
Yeah.
she's doing it.
That's why, that's what I tell people. Like, I knew in my heart that I was going to run again. And it wasn't easy. It took a long time. But what I needed to focus on is, when I first got home, I was supposed to run a half marathon. I was training for my first half marathon before I got sick. And when I first got home in August, the race was in September, all I could focus on was not being able to run that half marathon. And I found myself depressed, sad, a bunch of emotions, but nothing positive. And it wasn't until I started focusing on little things I was able to start doing for myself. Did my attitude change and my positivity changed? The first day I was able to wash my own hair. The first day was able to walk up the steps by myself. Those were all improvements that I was making. And once I started focusing on those little improvements, then my attitude changed, my outlook changed, and that's when it all started for me.
That is a very good point as well, because I think a lot of people, when they're going for something new in life, when they're going for a goal in life, they look for the big things that they need to do. And I think people need to break those down into smaller things. It's Grant Cardone actually has a book called The Compound Effect. And it's all about how making small adjustments over time, over the length of time, that those will add up to huge things. So say you eat 3 candy bars a day. No, I'm not saying you eat 3 candy bars a day, Maria. But say somebody out there eats 3 candy bars a day and a bag of chips, and they drink 4 Mountain Dews a day. What if you cut that in half and you did that for instead of you doing the other for 5 years, you cut it in half, and for those 2.5 years, you only ate and consumed a half of what you would have consumed it that previous 2.5 years. You see, that all adds up over time, and that will make a huge difference in your life. So you don't have to look at the big things all the time. You can break it down into smaller, sizable chunks. Just like they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Well, it's funny you say that. So I have this, and it's backwards. So I have this butterfly that's my logo, that was designed by a very dear friend of mine. And ribbon is the sepsis ribbon, and the butterfly is a sign of new beginnings, because I knew I was going to be starting fresh, starting new. And in there is my quote that actually came to me when I was on a run, and it's celebrate the little victories in life. Those can lead to the biggest changes. And so what I went through, I started celebrating the little milestones I was making, and then that ultimately led to my big goal. And one thing that I like to tell people too is, I was seeing the best doctors, there are. We're close to Boston. I was seeing these great doctors, and they knew I wanted to run again, but nobody was telling me how to get there. In fact, they were saying it's probably not going to be possible. You're not going to be able to run again. So when you have a goal in mind, you can't look for other people to tell you how to do it, or tell other people are going to tell you the steps you need to take. I needed to break those steps down and realize, okay, I want to run again. What is step one? Well, one, I had to learn how to walk again. Then step two, once I got to a certain point, I needed to get my strength up, because I had no stamina. My muscle strength was gone. I was very deconditioned. So I hired a personal trainer. And I hired a personal trainer that I knew was tough, because I didn't want to be coddled. I didn't want anybody to give me any extra sympathy or anything like that just because I didn't have my toes.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to write these down so people can take these away. So your first step was you had to learn to walk.
Yes.
So we'll just say first step is first step.
First step, yeah, because without my toes, the only way I knew how to balance was to turn my foot sideways. And so I was walking on the side of my foot. That was the only way I knew how to balance. And obviously you can't walk that way. And then
what was two?
So then I hired a personal trainer to help me get my strength back.
Ask for help. A lot of people out there know things that you don't know. So you're going to have to ask for help from people. So I find that to be a great word of advice for everybody out there, including me, because I know that I have to ask for help at times, and I don't like it. It's not something I find to be fun. And I don't think anybody finds it to be fun.
No. When I couldn't take care of myself, I was like, I'm a 40-year-old woman and I can't take care of myself. It was horrible. But one thing I will say too, the only thing I knew how to do before was run. I didn't do anything else. I ran. So the personal trainer was huge for me. The other thing I did was hot yoga, or Bikram yoga. That's really what helped me get my balance back. And it really opened my eyes to, when you're in class and you're looking in the mirror and you're just focused on what the instructor is telling you to do, what the body can do. I mean, I can stand on one foot. I can stand up on I call them my nubs, and sit in a chair. I can do all kind of balancing things that I never thought was going to be possible. But when you focus and you have an open mind, it's amazing what the body can do. So those, go ahead.
What was three again? I'm sorry.
So it was the trainer, it was yoga, and then I went to the running clinic in Boston.
All right, and then you went for the goal.
Mm-hmm. And it took me years. It took me at least 2 years to get to a spot where I could start running again.
Yeah, that's great. And I like the fact that it took you a long time. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen overnight. Many people in this country, many people in the world are looking for the overnight success. They're looking for the easy way to make money. Mm-hmm. When there is no easy way to make money. If you want to make money, I'll tell you right now that you need to get to work. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much all you can do.
But people always want the quick fix, and it's not easy. Like, I had multiple setbacks on my journey. I started out and I ended up having to have 2 more surgeries on my left foot through the whole thing. So, it's a whole roller coaster ride. But when you have your down days, I always tell people, have those down days, the self-pity days. But then the next day you need to pick yourself back up, refocus, and get back and start ahead forward, and not give up. And
Exactly.
it's not easy, but I had a great support system around me too. I had my husband, my kids, my friends, and they all stood by me and they helped me with my goals. So I think a
That
good support system is also very important. And my trainer was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And, it all started with him. And then I had one of the best physical therapists at Spalding Rehab, she's the one that got me running again. And it's been incredible. So I've done 2 half marathons so far. Supposed to do another one in March, at the end of March, as long as it doesn't get canceled, in Savannah. And then I'm hoping to run Chicago in 2022. I do have a goal to run 1 full marathon. So I don't know what my feet are going to be able to handle, but I feel like if I don't try, then I've already failed. If I tell myself I can't do it and I don't try, then I'll never know if I could do it or not. But it is my goal. I'm going to work on it, and hopefully I'll get there.
That is amazing. I happen to love this story. I know it's not a story, it's your life, but it is your life story. And I happen to love it, each and every part of it, because it correlates so well with my life that I faced all kinds of things after my car accident and being told that I wouldn't walk again. And now I'm walking, and now people have told me that I wouldn't run again, and I am working on running. So I find this very inspirational, and I thank you so much for coming on here to tell it. But I have to say hi to my dad, who is watching from across the street right now, to Natalie Gephardt, to Nicole, and her last name is Dalrymple or something. I'm sorry, Nicole. And thank you so much for watching. And then I want to say hi to Josh Osborne, Jody Dickerson, and Becca. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, I also want to say hi to Colleen, hi to Marilyn, and hi to Sarah. So I thank you guys so much for watching. And we're here tonight with Maria Papala.
Close, Papalia.
Papalia-Meier, and she's telling us a great story that is awesome. And she has like 3 steps to accomplish things. And her first step was, you have to take the first step, because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. And then ask for help. So there are people out there that know better than you, that know better than me even. Yeah, I know that's hard to believe, but they know better than you. They know better than other people what's possible for you. So ask for help. And then number 3 was, go for your goal. You can do so much stuff in preparation, and you have to break things down into small chunks, but you eventually have to go for the goal, and it will not happen overnight.
No.
It's amazing. Like, good things don't happen overnight,
And it's not an easy road either.
No, nothing worthwhile is ever easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so true, but it's not what people want to hear.
No.
And she's saying that if you get a support system around you, which I can also agree with, that it will help you out so much because those people are there to, as it says in the word support system, they're there to support you.
I
So,
remember, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, Maria. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I remember one day when I took off for a run, I ran up and around our cul-de-sac. And our neighbor that used to live up there, she said she was out on the porch and it just brought tears to her eyes because she knew how hard I worked towards it. And it just made her so happy. So I feel truly blessed to have had the support system that I have with family and friends here because it
That
helps. The encouragement helps and the
that
support.
is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you wanted to come on here because you're passionate about sepsis prevention and sepsis awareness.
Mm-hmm.
How exactly can people be cautious and aware of sepsis?
Yeah, so I always direct people to Sepsis Alliance because their website is phenomenal. It'll go over signs and symptoms of sepsis. I also post on my website, The Toeless Runner, stories, symptoms. And one of the things I tell people too, it's not just knowing the signs and the symptoms, but it's knowing how people have gone septic, different examples so you kind of know what to look for. I think that's one of the things that scares me the most is I didn't know how sick I was. I laid in bed for a few days thinking I had the flu when I was just hours away from dying. And mine started with a strep infection and I didn't have a sore throat. I had a rash on my stomach that I just thought was irritation from something I was wearing for a run. It spread to my arms and I thought, well, I've been doing some weeding. I'm probably allergic to something. When in reality, had I known that was a strep rash, I could have gone to the doctor, gotten an antibiotic, and none of this would have happened. But, I wouldn't change anything. I feel like now, I had a great career before, but I feel like I'm living my best life. I finally feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I did write a book. It is I'm backwards on the screen. It's called I Am a Runner, The Memoirs of a Sepsis Survivor. And I think that, so the book takes people on a journey of who I was before I got sick, the process of what I went through when I was sick and how I came out on the other end. But it's a good platform to give me the opportunity to have people learn about sepsis because oftentimes people don't know about it until they've had it. Or a family member has had it. And unfortunately, most of the time it's too late. In these groups that I'm in, people that went septic, got really sick, have lost limbs, have lost a lot more than I have. And you just find out too late. And one of the things that scares me too is if I didn't identify it in myself, would I be able to identify it in my children? And that's scary. So I would encourage everybody to go on to Sepsis Alliance and look at the signs and the symptoms, but also look at, they have a lot of posters that will tell different ways people do go septic. UTI is very common, kidney stones, pneumonia. For me, it was strep throat. My friend Kim, hers was an allergic reaction to some medicine that she was given. So you just have to know and know enough. So when you do go into the doctor, at least you can ask the questions, because when you go in to see a doctor, you really have to advocate for yourself. You have to have some information so you can ask questions. You can't just expect to go into the doctor and the doctor be a one-way conversation, because I was diagnosed over the phone with the flu and told to lay in bed for a few days. And if I didn't feel better, to go on in.
That's crazy, Maria. And wow. But thank you so much. And how can people get a hold of the book if they want the book?
Okay, so it's currently being sold on Amazon, so people can get it on there. You can also visit the Toeless Runner, and I have a link on my website to the book as well.
All right, and that is www.thetoelessrunner.com.
I thought it'd be catchy.
Yeah, that is catchy. I happen to like it, but I don't know if I should do this or not. But I happen to have a question that I was curious about last night. I was laying there in bed thinking about tonight's show, and I was like, I wonder if Maria can stand on her tippy toes.
I can. On my
Are,
nubs.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, that I was just trying to be dumb there for a minute, but wow, you just shocked me. So that's awesome. Is there any other contact information you would like to give people that would like to find out more about your story, possibly?
Yeah, the Toeless Runner website is actually the best place to go. I'm on Twitter at it's at Papalia-Meier, and that is my Instagram handle as well.
All right, cool. And if you could, after the show, please put your all your handles and things down in the comments and
Sure.
let people know how they can get a hold of the book. But I would like to say hi to Leah, hi to Mr. Durner, my 7th grade homeroom teacher, and hi to Kelly. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry you have missed most of the show, so you can at least go back and watch it over again. And please comment your biggest takeaway. And I thank all you guys for being here tonight. And I thank you, Maria. But I need to remind you and everybody out there that you have to do me a favor. And that is this. You have to make every second count. Why? Because you never know when the seconds are going to run out on your one life. Look, I'm Jeff Marconette Jr., the award winning international Make Every Second Count speaker, reminding you to make every second count because you never know when your last second will run out. Until next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I thank you guys so much and I will talk to you later.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.